Welcome.
He's always watching me.
This is the part 2 of the interview with Mr. Ski Beatz.
Part 2, y'all.
I'll drop you right here. Let's get started.
Yeah.
Like you were just saying, we are downstairs at DD172.
Yeah, and as you see behind you is this beautiful mural that my homegirl, Amanda Diva, is working on. It's not finished. It's definitely a work in progress, but it's going to be dope. This is going to be like a real... It's going to be one of the things that people are going to remember about the dojo. It's going to be like in history, and that wall that Amanda painted. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be one of those kind of things. Man, pictures going to be taken here. It's going to be dope. This is going to go down in history. And y'all have seen it first. And you got good footage. This is a good footage thing for you. Because this is going to be a famous wall, I promise you.
Oh, I'm happy. This is amazing. I like the little things she's doing here and there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Clearly she's not done. She's got a big eye for the project.
Definitely.
All right. Let's talk about the funk.
The funk.
What you've been a producer, you've been a rapper. What's that record? I know for me it was ABC was the first record that I was like, how come I can't? Why do I like this so much better than everything else that I hear? Why does this make me run on the dance floor when I can't dance? You know, records that take over your body.
Right. Definitely, man. I think it was definitely Motown. All the Motown records. All the Motown. My mom had all the Motown 45s. My aunts had all the Motown 45s. So it's definitely Motown, man.
Four Tops.
All of
Temptations.
That. Yes. I used to listen
Smokey.
to that. Exactly.
Stevie.
All of that. I'm definitely a Motown baby.
I think Signed, Sealed, Delivered is one of those albums overlooked.
Crazy.
I know the big 70s records are, track for track they're stronger, but I love Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Yeah.
Great album.
It's just that, back then everybody could really play. The Funk Brothers was no joke. Best musicians in the world. Jameson on bass, can't beat that. You know what I mean?
Kids, those of you that don't know, the Funk Brothers were the house band from Motown. They did all the music on all the hits for all the groups. In fact, if you combined all the songs that they played on that were big hits, they've been on more hits than, like, I think it's in the cover of that. They made a movie called Standing in the Shadows of Motown. If you guys haven't seen that, you need to rent that, because that is the story of the Funk Brothers.
Oh, I didn't see
and that's what man's talking about.
Yeah.
These are all the people that laid down all the boom, 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 all those classic grooves. They went along. And wow, what next? Original flavor dissolves how?
Oh, it dissolves with us being released from Atlantic Records. And around that time, I really it didn't bother me, because I knew I was going to end up producing Jay. And I knew that he was like, he was the best rapper I heard ever in my life. And I said, well, I got to produce him. I just went home and just...
Well, people are going to want to know. Jay obviously appeared on Can I Get Open? We've covered that in the series before. How does he end up on that record?
Well, Clark introduced Jay-Z to Dame and myself. Said, this kid is crazy. Jay-Z rap. I said, yo, this kid is crazy. Dame said, yo, I'm going to manage you. Yo, you down with us? He got down with us. Then after that, Jay would come to my house every day and we would just make music. You know what I mean? Just record. Politics, the presidents, 22 Tools, feeling it. All that came from that moment when I met him. Like, yo, let's do this, let's do that.
And it's no hype? It comes right off the dome every time, nothing written down?
I seen Jay write once, but I can't really call it writing, because he wrote down like some type of hieroglyphic symbols and shit.
No.
I promise you, just different funny little symbols, and he looked at it, and from those two little symbols, he knew what the whole fucking rhyme was.
Unbelievable.
Like crazy.
Unbelievable.
I promise you, that's what happened. Craziness.
So there it is. You're walking out the door. How does Reasonable Doubt form? How does it formulate?
How everything around here is forming. It was just natural, organic. Come in, make a song. Oh, that's dope. Let's make another one. All right. Oh, that was good too. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll make some more. All right, cool. Next day, come back. Oh, I like that one. Oh, these are hot. Next thing you know, we got a bunch of songs. Oh shit, we got an album. Let's go to fucking D&D. Let's mix it and record it for real. Knock it out. Clark brings some songs in. Peter Panic brings songs. Primo brings songs. Then it starts forming. Then it builds into a thing. Then it becomes what it is. You know what I mean? Bang.
History.
History.
Feeling it.
History.
Feeling it.
Yeah.
Who's the producer on that track?
Me.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it is, am I wrong, one of the best tracks on the album? Or one of the best hip-hop albums of all time?
I tell this story so many times, I'm tired of telling it, but that was my song. I rapped on the song originally. It was me and one of the members from Cam Low, and I was just starting to work on my own solo project again. And I played it for Jay, and he was like, yo, what you doing with this song? I said, it's mine, I'm going to use it. He said, I want it. Yeah, but it's mine, I'm going to use it. But I want it. It's yours now, you can have it. You know what I mean? Boom. And it's ill because the way he was flowing, feeling that, all the girls are going to the rhythm, that's how I wrote to it too. I wrote, he took, you know, he's not biting, but he took the rhythm
melody
and
as well.
everything.
I got you.
And I was like, it was no compliment, like, okay, I'm dope. He used my shit. I ain't mad at you.
Now it was a classic Ahmad Jamal sample.
Classic, yes.
And does that mean that you were into jazz records? I mean, you were living in New York. You talked about sleeping in the studio. Were you spending a lot of time in the crates looking for different things, or
that's all I did?
Did you? That's what I wanted to ask you. Did you bring your crates up from North Carolina? Did you have a big record collection? You have to start over when you got here.
I didn't have any record collection when I got here. I started over.
You started over.
But I'm glad I started over. What happened was I met this kid, and the Spanish kid, and his pops had mad records, like records, but he had real records. Like it wasn't like it wasn't not to knock the James Brown or Stevie Wonder. It wasn't like the everyday records that you can get in everybody's crate. It was like this dude was digging before anybody knew what digging was. I mean, I had like Lou Donaldson, Hot Dog, like before before anybody knew what it was. I had all these records, all these Can I Get Open, all that stuff. Here We Go, Feeling It, all that stuff came from that same exact crate that this old Spanish guy gave.
Who is Mecca?
Mecca, my homegirl from Danville. She sung on Feeling It.
She did a hell of a job.
Yeah, she's dope.
Did she show up ever again after that?
She actually got mad at me because she felt like she was entitled to a piece of publishing for that record, but in fact she was a work for hire. Like she came in, I wrote the song, and she came in and wrote what I told her. You know, I said sing this, and she sung it word for word, and she got paid for singing. You know what I mean? But you know,
success is always going to breed a little bit of jealousy.
Exactly.
That's how it goes.
You know, people get in your head, yo, they should be paying you. Yo, that's a hit record. You should get something. But she probably felt like that. You know.
I'm sure.
But you know, you gotta know the business. You gotta know what's going on. If you're writing, of course you're gonna get your money. You know what I'm saying? If you actually contributing to the creativity of it, you're gonna get money. But if I'm like, that's like a musician. If he come in and I say, yo, play boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? And he played verbatim just like I told him. Then a year later, he's like, yo, where's my publishing? He's great. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about the state of hip hop now. In that nobody has any money to put up what the estate of Barry White is asking. Nobody has the money to pay for what the estate of Jimi Hendrix is asking. To sample now, you have to be a success ahead of time. So we've taken the best part of sampling, the most creative process, and kind of eliminated it at the door. So that these kids have no choice but to make little keyboards. I mean, and I'm not knocking that song. It's a big hit, but
now you know. But what it's doing actually is if you look at it in two different perspectives, it's basically bringing musicianship back into the game, because a lot of kids are learning how to play, which is good. You know what I mean? And if you're smart, you can like what I'm doing. I'm sampling still, but I'm getting musicians to come in and not replay. But I might take a sample and chop it to death where it's like non-recognizable, but I have them replay what the hell I just chopped.
I got you. Yes.
And that way it's totally my material. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So there's ways around it. But you know, I'm not really mad at what the kids are doing today. I'm not, it's just it's growth. It's what's happening. You know, it's like disco. You know how disco went. Disco for a second, then it went down, then the good music came back. You know what I mean? But not saying that all the music out there is bad, you know.
It's true. And people forget about, like, even disco. It's funny you mentioned that. People forget that disco died before Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever brought disco back again, bigger, but it was already, nobody wanted to make Saturday Night Fever at the time. They were like, what? The Bee Gees, too, were, like, dried up. They were like, what? But
And that movie
it just takes the one Michael Jackson of a generation to come along and kill it, and it's right back where it was.
But see, what I love about being here, man, is like we're not really. We call it the outside world. Anything outside these walls, we call it WackWorld. You know what I mean? I don't want no parts of WackWorld. I'm not trying to sit around here and make a mainstream radio hit. I'm not trying to do anything but what I'm doing. We make whatever music we want and we put it out and we treat it as if it's a mainstream single. Everything we do, it could be the most underground, dirtiest record. We're going to put it out with a video on YouTube and we're going to promote it like it's the shit. You know what I mean? And that's how we getting music back out there. That's how we try to get music back out there. Like real music where you can feel. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You got me going through the crates in my own head. I'm producing in my mind right now listening to you talk, man.